So I guess if I were to say we had a theme this week, it would probably be sponging. We've kind of thought about it and spoken about it a little bit in the workouts that we've done. But I just want you to just identify these glute medius muscles, just kind of their basic location, sort of from the back of the hips and down towards that sitting bone area. So that's glute medius, and he is, when he is overfiring or over tight or over facilitated in AMN wording, then he kind of disables your inner thighs, your adductors, which are attached at that inferior trochanter and then to your pubic bone. Some of them are longer, smaller, thinner, wider. There's 5 on each side, and at the pubic bone is also your front of your pelvic floor is attached there, and your deep transverse. So they all share that one point, which means they share quite a lot of fascia through there. So it's really quite important to find the balance between what is happening here and what is happening here, because if these are over facilitated, then they kind of disable these. So today with our leg workout, I just thought I'd like to go through thinking about that a little bit, adding in end range of motion, you know, that feeling of going into that full extension without our clenching. And so let's just find parallel feet under your sits bones, lift up all 10 toes, spread them apart, place them on the floor, feel the big ball, the baby ball, the heel, the lift under the arches, how that sort of engages or connects to the inner thighs. And then you can kind of feel all this opening out as you bring the pelvis into neutral, and a little sense of lengthening in the lower back without clenching the bottom. So back off from all of that, and when you find it again, just notice what happens at the glute medius. So as you breathe out, just kind of pressing into those big ball, baby ball, heel, use the outer edge of the foot to find the arch, perhaps that engages the inner thighs, pubis into neutral, so it comes slightly forward, and you sense that lengthening down your lower back. Could you feel there was just a subtle sponging on those glute medius? So we're going to go into a little bend and a little stretch, and you might notice that the little sponging on the glute med relaxes and then contracts slightly as you come up. The bum widens, and there's the subtle. And then if I can take that sensation down my legs into my feet, how I am pushing against the floor, little press, getting this gently to engage, bend and press. And I'm going to add my arms. I'm going to take them forward and down, and then to the side and down, and forward. Notice the legs. Notice how that might even really make you aware of the sides of your body with the arms moving. And breathing out maybe as you push into the floor, feeling the ribs soften down. And kind of as I'm breathing out, there is this pelvic floor, deep transverse engagement. And it all fires together to help that sense of sponging in my glute medius. And lovely. Take them higher, take them up, out to the side and down. And take them forward and up and out to the side and down. I'm trying not to stick my bottom out, but definitely zip up through the front when I'm standing strong and tall. And sense that end range of motion, downward force from the center of gravity, and upward energy from there upward. One more time, and end it at that lovely side position, just opening the arms sideways. We're going to rotate the shoulders, bringing the arms over and under. Good. My palms are going down and back, and my palms are going up and maybe even around to the back. And feel that movement in the shoulder blades. And the intention is to wing the scapula. So this big plate of bone on your back is flipping up and tucking back underneath. So it is flipping over and flipping back underneath. And again, flipping over and flipping back underneath. And again, trying not to go into flexion. So I'm not kind of rocking my chest forward and overdoing the chest muscles. I'm really working on my back. And one more time, flipping them over, flipping them back up, and I'm going upward. Inhale, lifting up, breathing sideways into those diaphragms, and exhale out to the side, palms are up. And again, and this is a sense of really being this tall flagpole, shoulders down, and letting the arms just peel out to the sides. Feel the weight of them and connect, or try and notice what it feels like, that elastic down the side of your body. Remember, we spoke a couple of days ago about the elastin and the collagen, and the fact that our tendinous fascia has more collagen and our muscular fascia is a little more elastin. So there's sort of no force held in the muscle fascia like there is in the tendon. Can you feel those upper bodies? Bring the hands to your chest, and we're going to take them forward and take them to your chest and take them out to the side. And take them to your chest, elbows wide, and take them forward and take them to the chest and out to the side. So I'm not really moving my body too much, but I'm looking to find the recoil, and it feels like a recoil. And that's, you know, it's not enough just to do what I'm saying. You actually have to try and feel that bounce as you do it, right? So we're going to pick up the pace, and we're going to try and find the recoil for the tendon. As I'm moving, I'm noticing I'm not trying to move, I'm trying not to move my spine, but kind of find the recoil through my shoulders, my elbows, maybe even my wrist and finger joints, where things kind of move without hesitation. One just springs into the other, breathing. So you knew I couldn't stay away from the fascia stuff for too long, right? It's too prominent in my mind at the moment. And then bring those hands back to your shoulders. Gosh, my arms are exhausted. Soft knees, anchor into those feet. Now we're going to breathe in wide, and we're going to do that little rotation with the arms on the exhale. But look for the recoil. That's the point of this, right? So inhale. And where does it just bounce from one place to the other as you're breathing out? When you run out of air, stop. And my arms are a bit tired. I can feel my elbows are sagging down a bit. One more. And relax. Now let's do it with that little tick-tock side to side under the rib cage. And again. And just let's back off. Breathe. Just kind of feel what it feels like now to breathe. Not just to the front, not just up, but sideways, backwards into that breath. And then I'm going to do my first roll down of the day. So just dropping the chin into the chest, sliding those ribs down, softening the knees, curling down through the spine. Feel the weight dropping into your feet. And just stay there for a moment as you find the center of your feet. Maybe come forward on those toes. Maybe shift back into the heels. Notice if your arches are dropping, come back into the middle and find the outer edges of your feet, arches engaged. Think about that, connecting your inner thighs as you stretch up, pushing your bum up over those feet, and then bend the knees back down. And press those legs straight as much as you can and bend down. And so I run through a little checklist. I check whether I am feeling those 3 tripods of each feet into the floor. And I also check in with my knees. I check in when I'm stretching. Am I just clenching my kneecaps, or am I actually finding the back of my legs? Because very quickly, my quads always want to take over. And I want to find the balance. Remember the symmetry. So from the stretch and bend, I'm just going to relax totally. And I'm going to just get a little bit of a soft fist. And I'm going to come up the side of my legs. I'm going to give that glute medius a good old tapping into the glute maximus, and the minimus is kind of underneath, and then into that tendinous junction. Hamstrings, can I find where they're soft? I've got such big ones, they're really always kind of rocky. And then into those ligaments and tendons, calves, Achilles tendons. Then come to the inside of your ankles, right? So even though I'm in parallel, I might have stepped a bit wider just to get that little tendon up the inside, and then up the inside of the knees, inner thighs. And when you come back up, hopefully you're just getting these. Love it. And then let's just shake that out. So I'm going to go heels together and just kind of check my turnout, my Pilates V, right? Zipping those inseams together and feeling the arch lift, and that pulls up, opening out that groin, tuck the tail under, subtle, maybe not so subtle sponging of those glute meats here. And we're going to just pick up the toes, bring them together, pick up the toes, take them apart. Pick up the toes together and toes and take them apart. And this is turning. If you put your fingers here, you'll feel that you're rotating from these hip joints. The whole thigh bone is turning out because you are contracting muscles which then fire up into the tendon and move the bone, because muscle attaches to bone with a tendon every time. And again, out, turn it out, stay there for me. Let's do a little plie and a little squeeze. Turning those knees out, and then just notice, it doesn't have to be trying harder, it doesn't have to be a huge clench. Just kind of notice that as you press into those heels to full extension, it kind of tugs that tailbone down slightly, and there's a little sponging that happens just back here. And down, and that almost releases the adductors to allow that to open a little better. Bend and press, and one more time bend and sponging. Rising up, we're going to keep those sponges and lower back down. And again, rising up, second and third toe and lowering back down. That's it. And again, rising up and lowering down. Feel the zip between the inseams and try to stay conscious all the time. Ribs down, arms coming up, arms coming down, arms coming up, arms coming down. Again, now some of you have things going on in your feet, and I don't expect you to go into pain. So at any point you need to shake this off or change the position or back off. That's what you guys have to do. Listen to your body. Let it know you're paying attention. And down. Good. Let's just take that into parallel position. So let's just push the heels out and everything is parallel. And we're going to go the same. Pelvis in neutral. Bring that pubic bone forward. As we bend and stretch, we're tracking those knees over the second and third toes. But I don't really want to hang my head down. I want to feel like my head is in line with my tailbone all the time. Ribs nice and soft. And back. Good. And again. So I want to keep this alignment. Last one. And do my rise. Now make sure your heels don't sneak inward when you lower the heels down. So I consciously press gently outward with the heels. And again, are you in neutral pelvis? When you're holding on to all of this, and I'm trying to go up, but I can feel myself rocking slightly forward. And I don't want to do that. One more time. Finding that alignment in the ankles, the balance. Ah, beautiful. Now let's take those arms forward, ribs down. We're going to bend the knees to where the heels stay on the ground, and then we're going to gradually peel the heels off the ground. Stay nice and straight, upright. You go only as far as your knees are happy to go. And then push yourself up. Downward forces, upward energy. Lower the heels and stretch the legs. Bend, keep the heels on the floor as long as you can till you're peeling them off. Tracking the knees over the second and third toes. Ribs are down, head on top of your tail. And push, downward force, upward energy. Don't rush it, Miss Viv. And again, inhale and exhale, softening down, shoulders down, knees going forward. Now push the heels to the ground. Feel that from here, breathe out from here. One more time, guys. There's my center of gravity. That's my powerhouse right there. When I run out of what else to do, into my powerhouse and push those heels down. Love it. Let's turn it out. Let's turn it out a little bit more. So I did a little walkie. That's about 2.5 of my own feet distance. And I'm going to plie squat down. Maybe I need a little bit more. And again, plie squat down and up. So my hips are turned out. My knees are tracking my toes. If they can't and they're more rocking inward, maybe your toes have to shift. Make it realistic for you. Knees tracking the second and the third toes, not sticking the bum out. This lovely tall spine, ribs soft. Good. And push into your tripods of your feet and sponge the glute med. Right? Can you feel that sponge? Yep. Awesomeness. Right, so we're going to take the arms up as we squat down, growing tall through your sides and coming back up. Good. Knees open, bum under you, ribs down, and pushing back up. Sponge. Sponge your bottom. That's it. Whoa. Lovely, isn't it? And again, down and up. Let's go for a rise. Reach out with your fingertips as you rise up and back off as you lower down. Stretch out, slide those shoulder blades apart and lower down. And again, extend out through those joints, end range, ribs together and down. One more time. And down, plie. Here we go, arms up, plie. Lift the heels. Reach out as you stretch up and lower the heels down. Inhale. Exhale. At the end of that breath and down. Again, inhale. Exhale and push. I'm even turning my hands down like I'm pulling myself out of a foam pit. And bend. And heels up if you can, and exhale, press down and lower the heels. Beautiful. Over to the right side and push. Just tracking the knee over the second and third toe. Feel how the weight goes into it, draw up through the arch. Try not to twist the body at all. Other side. A little bend, feel the toes kind of spread out. And again, and then what's happening at that little glute med? Can you notice the little sponging? So even when I'm not talking about it, I'm hoping you're thinking about it. All 3 points in your head, you're thinking, are you crazy? There's so many other things you're saying. And come back. And we go into a circle to the right. Bend, plie down to the left. Push up and bend, plie down to the left and push up. This is all completely still. How are these going? Can you feel how you've got it sort of one and then the other one engaging? One more time, sit into it, ta-da. And then let's go that way, and head down and squat through and other side and push up, side and squat through. This has whole new meanings now. And a side and feel the sponge, feel the pelvis widening and narrowing. Allow it, give permission. You're stable, you're good. And stop. Let's just bring those feet back to parallel. Roll it down, top to tail. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Now bend those knees forward over your second and third toes. Lengthen your arms forward, make your back flat. Now stretch the legs and reach the arms out to the side so you've got a lovely long table. Reverse it, arms go forward. Bend the knees over the second and third toes, ribs together. Drop the chest down, straighten the legs and roll it back up. Gonna continue with that pattern. Go over to your right side, reach. Let the arms circle, sweep past the floor. Other arm is coming through. And up tall. Other way, over. Rotating through. Let's circle, finish that movement. And come to roll down. Parallel feet, arches lifted, adductors, pelvis. Whew. Breathe all the air out, rolling down. Bend the knees, let the arms reach forward, flatten the back. Long spine, stretch the legs, hands out to the side. That's it, arms reaching forward, forward, bending those knees. Drop the body down, stretch those legs and roll it up. Vertebra by vertebra, adductors, arches, yes, all engaged. Feel the sponging as you bring the pelvis into neutral. Over we go. And feel how you release those sponges. And then all of a sudden this pushing leg, kind of the sponge engages again, right? That one's kind of going for me at the moment. And then it kind of opens out. And the other one takes charge. Oh, biomechanics. Awesome, lovely biomechanics. We're going up again, building on it. Breathing and rolling down. Bend those knees. Knees over the second and third toes, arms reach forward, flat on the back. This time straighten your legs and just stay there for me. We're going to open those arms out to the side and do a little bit of a saw. So we're going to reach the right hand past the left ankle and twist. And then come back, open up those arms. Other side. So the left hand past the right ankle. Look at the back arm that's kind of pulling back and open. And then come back, center. Again, and rotate. Push into those feet and come back. Other side, and rotate. And come back. And then can I ask you to think about these abdominals as you rotate. Squeeze the rib across to the hip bone. Pull in the tummy in the middle and then come back. And feel how, as you twist across to it, that kind of pushes the thigh bone up into your hip. And then come back. Arms are going to reach forward as we plie or bend down again. Long flat back, drop the arms down, stretch those legs. Stop here again, walk to your right foot. And just relax that neck, roll up the right side. Pushing that foot through the floor. Notice the sponging in that glute. Coming up nice and tall, looking over to that diagonal, and then rolling down that side, that leg, and then the side of the body, open out as you fold. Swinging across to the other leg, feet are still parallel. And as I push into the foot and roll it up, I'm conscious of the adductor, the arch connection, the pushing of the heel into the ground, the sponging of my bum, my waist, it's all rolling down. Let go of the neck and shoulders. Swing back into the middle. Bend those knees. Stretch the legs. Roll it up one more time. Oh, deliciously. Roll down one more time. Gonna bring those hands onto the ground. Bend the right knee and stick the left leg out to the side. So it's nice and straight. Good. My back is nice and straight and my supporting knee is underneath my hip. Not stuck out to the side. I feel like I've made a quadruped, just a slightly strange one. Press outward with those hands, flattening the upper back, and we rock back, and we rock forward, and we rock back, and we rock forward. So I'm borrowing this one from yesterday. And back and forward. So I'm going to take it through a cat curl. I'm going to go happy cat back, angry cat forward, happy cat back, angry cat forward. Working through my spine. When I come forward, I feel like a bull charging with my horns down. And one more time. And then come back into the middle. And we're just going to take those arms up, lift the chest. Oops, I'm not quite on my knee. I moved, take a nice twist.
reaching towards that ankle, grab a hold of it if you can. Back arm is up in the air, and now sit your hips back like you want to go sit on your bottom. Let the tendinous junction under your bum stretch, and then push against the shin to come back on top of the knee, and then unravel yourself. Keep going to a nice rotation. Come back and reach, cross to the ankle, hand up at the back, look at it, stick your butt out, reach it back towards your heel, push against the shin, putting yourself up, and then can you feel the sponging in that side? Yeah, and rotate. And one more time. And reach across. Coming back up. What's happening in my butte? And twist. And come back into the center. I'm going to go down onto my side. Sorry, I'm just shifting a little bit because I'm a bit close to the wall. And now this top arm, this foot's still on the floor. This top arm is just going to reach over and come back. Still not great with space. And reaching over and coming back. Beautiful. Reach it over and back. Now can I take the side leg in alignment that I make a nice long straight line. Ribs together and lower. Let's see if we can find it again. Soften those ribs, fully side on to the screen or wherever you side onto, and then lower. One more time. Let's find it. And lower it back down. Just bring that knee in and then just hand to the other hand and sit back in a little side stretch. Walk the hands to the front. You're just in a lovely old pose of a child. Relax the neck. So take a nice deep breath down your back and just breathe right down into your bottom. Relax those shoulders, circle the arms around the side. Let those shoulders just hang down, and we'll roll it up. And we'll come up to the other side. So, just getting that leg out, getting those hips back, and getting our rocking. Letting the butt widen as you rock to the back and forward, back and forward. And then taking it into your angry happy cat. Happy cat back, angry cat forward. Happy cat back, angry cat forward. Just rippling through your spine. Not clenching, but just noticing what's happening in that glute medius, that little sponging action that is occurring. And then come to the middle, and we're coming up. Take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to reach it across. Sit those hips back. Push against the shin, coming back on top. Open it out, and just notice the glute med as you come into that rotation. And come back. And again, threading the needle, going across to the ankle, back arm up, looking up in the air. Stick that bottom out as you sit back to the heels. Feel that end range extension through the arms. Peeling yourself back up. Feel how you control it through that supporting leg. And come back. And again, and threading the needle. Sitting those hips back. Press against the shin. And coming back up into the rotation. And then coming back center. And coming over the side. Just trying to stay in screen, reaching that arm overhead and bringing it back down. And just kind of feeling the tissue on the side of the body, how it is lengthening and elastically coming back. I'm going to come into that leg lift at the same time, just extending the leg up. I'm sorry, you're going to lose my head a little bit. And coming back down, I'm going to turn slightly. And again, hand floating it up, long ribs together.
And lowering it back down one more time. Just lifting it up. Lowering it back down. Fold that knee back. And just bring the hand to the other hand. Take a deep breath down the side. And come back into the center. And let's just roll onto our quadruped. Scoop up the tummy, angry cat, kind of pulling yourself up onto that quadruped. And then lengthening it out. Let's just tuck under the toes and take the hips into the air. Nipples to knees. And just let's assess how those hammies are feeling. Press outward with the hands. And we're going to prance those knees. Boom, bada, boom, bum in the sky. Bounce, and bounce. See if you can find your recoil. I may have to pick up the pace for my recoil and find where it feels like it's right for me. And when I've had enough, I'm just going to stop, chest to thighs, rock it forward, right into my plank. Okay, scooping up that lower tummy, press outward with the hands, right. We're going to walk that right foot up to your hand and put it back. I'm not actually moving my pelvis. I'm just stepping it up and back, and step it up and back. It's kind of coming around the side, opening my hip. 4 and 3, head in line with the tail if you can think about that, 2 and 1, and lower the knees and come back to a tall kneeling position. We're going to do, that's it, we're going to do a little squat here, so pubic bone forward, arms reaching, and we're just going to sit those hips back and press the hips forward. So you can see it's like a lever, it's like I don't know what does that. A book. And open the book. And we go to half close the book. Oh no, I haven't marked my page. That's it, good. And just feel how this is opening, and as a result there's a sponging in the back there. I often focus on the opening, but I really think about what's occurring in the back. Good, and 4. And press with those shins. You should feel that engagement up into the seat. Ribs down. 2 and 1 and lovely. Let's just come onto those arms. I'm going elbow, elbow, hand, hand. So elbow, elbow, hand, right, left, working through the rotation in my shoulders, relaxing the neck. I reckon you guys are so much stronger now that it doesn't actually feel very hard. Like you don't have to put a lot of effort into that force-wise. So you can really relax the joints. And I'm going to do it one more time. You'll notice I've really picked up my pace. I'm going to go the other way. So find your rhythm. And then just kind of see if you can find a rhythm that feels even easier. One that just feels like, yeah, I'm just doing stuff. Mechanical almost, like a clock that just works perfectly, one cog hitting off another cog. And I'll maybe do one more, and then come to my elbows and just stay there. And go into my angry cat, happy cat curl. So exhale, scoop up that tummy, let the ribs tuck in, relax the neck. And then stick it out, ripple through the spine. Bring the breastbone forward and up. And again, exhale, curl it under. Inhale. Stick out that tail, ripple it out, vertebra by vertebra. Press outward with those elbows, guys. Open the chest. And again, tucking it under. And just hold it for me there in that lovely little happy cat without clenching the bum. And start to gently rock back. I know it's not very far and you can feel that in your shoulders. Just rocking back and forward, scooping up the front of the pelvic floor like you need a wee, lower tummy fibers really working. 2 and 1. Stop there for me, and we're just going to fold the right knee up towards your chest, blow all the air out, and bring that knee down. Other side, exhale, fold it all the way up.
and bring it back down, and then just sit back to your heels and let everything relax. Roll it up as and when you're ready to. And just loosen off the shoulders. You know I have to go onto the stomach just a little bit. So let's come down onto the back. Okie dokie, I'm just going to bring that down a little more. Okay, super. So, pelvic curl, I know it's delicious, right? Big ball, baby ball, heel on the ground. I'm going to do 3 pelvic curls where I'm just going to notice my sponging. Just be as gentle with your body as you can. Breathe back into those ribs. When you're rolling it, notice that initial movement starts at the pelvic floor and the deep transverse. And then try and feel each vertebra as you roll on it. And then find the flat shoulder blades. As you breathe out, maybe you can notice the sponges in your bottom as they gently fill up and you release to neutral. I just want to do 2 more like that, where nothing is expected. Absolutely nothing is expected. It's just a journey. The knees are reaching forward and you're exploring your body in its current state. And one more time. Absolutely, there's all sorts of precision cues that I talk about all the time. The knees tracking over the second and third toes, the weight in the feet with the arches lifted, engaging the adductors, the little sponging, pelvis neutral, ribs not overdoing it, maybe widening the back. As you roll down, there's a gazillion things you could add to your practice on that. And then release to neutral. We're going to bring the right leg up to table without dropping the back. And we're going to keep our neutral spine as we stand on that left leg and lift the hips up and put the hips back down. And lift the hips up and put the hips back down. And we're going to do several of these. Feel how, just like when we were doing bends and stretches standing up, when you lift the pelvis up, the weight kind of spreads in your foot, going sort of pushing the toes, almost splaying them out. Are you keeping weight in the heel? Because you do need to feel that that is also an anchor. To feel the arch lifting, to use the adductor well, and the glute medius well. All of that works together. Last time, lift it up and hold. That lifted leg to toe tap, lower tap and exhale, lift it up. And inhale, lower tap and lift it up. Are you on your flat shoulder blades? I'm feeling very skewed today. Lower tap and lift it up. Lower tap and lift it up. One more time. The bum is not dropping. My sponge is sponging. Stretch that right leg into the air, the top leg into the air, flex the foot. Now put the bum back down. Now think about pushing that flat foot up to the ceiling as you press up and put it back down. And press up and put it back down. Good. Again, lengthening that supporting knee over the second and third toe. Oh, my leg is falling. Push that leg straight up. And lower back down, bend the right leg, put him on the floor. Take a moment just rocking those knees from right to left. And just sort of bringing the tone down on that wonderfully facilitated side that you were standing on. And then come back into the middle. You're in neutral pelvis. Back of the arms on the ground, shoulder blades, where are they? And then get that left knee up, and we're ready to, the second leg up and standing on the foot to reach the knee forward and put the bum back down. It's my standing knee that's going forward. My top leg is just holding its right angles. It's just absolutely not got my attention. So as I'm standing on it, maybe I can feel how I'm using my feet, what my arch is doing, how that's engaging with my glute. Is my pelvis dropping or tilting? And I think that was what was occurring when I was feeling I was lopsided on my shoulders. And stand to lift and put it down. And stand to lift and put it down. One more time. Stand to lift, hold, stretch that leg into the air. And there, what am I saying? Toe tap, lower toe tap, and lifting it up. I'm in a hurry. Lower toe tap. Because this is very tired on the side. And lower toe tap. it just feels like it's having to do, for me, more work on this side. I'm feeling more of my front of my waist working as well. And that's exactly probably what I need to switch it all on. One more time, toe tap. Lift it up, stretch that leg, flex the foot. Put your backside on the floor, long spine. Stand on the foot, push the foot to the ceiling. Put it down and push it up. And put it down. End range on that top leg. Are you pushing up the heel? Put it down. Stand, push it up. And one more time. Stand, push it up. Put it down. Bend that leg. Fold both knees up into your chest this time. And just rock them in and out. So, I'm just going to come into my happy baby. Lift the feet up above you. You want your feet above your face, above your chest. And if you can't reach your feet, then you're going to grab onto those lower legs with the knees on the outside of your elbows. If I can get to my feet, I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to gently try and lengthen my bum down onto the ground, pulling the knees kind of to the outside of my elbows. Take a breath, scoop up into chest lift, pulling in the tummy, and just roll from one side to the other side. We're going to do this a few times, keeping the feet in your line of fire, in your line of eyesight, just above you, rolling from side to side. And then come back into the middle, lay the head back down, bring your heels into your crotch, knees to the outside still. And we're going to extend that right leg up, pushing the bottom down to the floor, and then bend the heel to your crotch. Other side, just extending that leg up, and bringing it back down, bum to the floor. Open that chest again. Feel that end range. But you have this wonderful firm foundation through your spine, through your ribs, through the shoulders, through the back of the pelvis. Now both together, we're going to extend those legs up, pushing the bum to the ground. And bring the heels in. One more time, extending it out. And bending them back in, whoops. Bring those knees together. We're going to extend the legs up into the air. And I want to flex those feet. And I'm going to go with my arms straight up into the sky, and I'm going to peel myself forward, but then I'm going to think about going up. So I'm going to curl forward and then lift up, 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 pushing the back of the ribs against the floor to go up, and then lowering it back down, widening that chest. And again, exhale, curl up, sliding those ribs down, pressing against the ribs at the back, and then lowering back down to the floor. Again, exhale, push up, press with the heels to push your bum down, and coming to the ground. So there's a whole bunch of contradictory kind of things happening, needing to be organized, and then come back down. Peel to point those toes, arms reach back. We're going to roll into a teaser seat. So just roll forward, peeling up through the spine. Lifting and opening that chest up. And then we're just going to circle arms around the back, clasp your hands, stretch the arms, lift the chest, take a deep breath. And then lower the legs and scoop around. Relaxing forward, scooping up the belly. And then peeling yourself back up. Vertebra by vertebra. Thank you for joining me.